Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy XIV. In this video, as you can see, I'm back on Black Mage. So we're going to be going through the level 50 through 80 job quests. And as with how I handled it with Summoner and Scholar, I'm going to be doing it in 10 level increments. So since we're level 60, we're doing the level 50 through 60 storyline. And then once I'm level 70, we'll do the 60 to 70. Then once I'm 80, I'll do the single level 80 quest. But before I can do this, the single 80 quest, I have to do the role quest. So, yeah. But that is a future problem. Right now, we gotta work up towards that. So, the lie. What's next? It's been a while. Cecila, you come in a good time. I have made a remarkable discovery, which I would share with you. After Master Kukuruka passed away, I went to his cell in the Marasaja pit, the cell in which he spent 100 years locked away. I doubted my master, and the guilt of it gnaws at my consciousness, or my conscience. In order to atone, I decided to preserve the fruits of his research for future generations. Well, as I went about sorting through his personal effects, I found a most peculiar slip of parchment bearing a jumble of glyphs and sigils, which I instantly recognized to be a cipher. When I removed the cipher to reveal the hidden words, I could scarce believe my eyes. They described the whereabouts of two ancient tomes, the Book of Nalthal. The tomes are said to contain the secrets of forbidden spells, and their existence has been hidden from even the Thaumaturge's Guild. Master Kukuruka entrusted you with his legacy, Cecila. He would want the tomes to be in your keeping. The first tome is said to be in Nald's reflection in Southern Thanalan. Come, let us make haste and retrieve it. Alright, we can do that. Get some cursed books in our possession. What can go wrong? Alright. Because it's way over here in the corner, right? Yep. That's where we had the showdown. Let me tell you, the final stages of the Palace of the Dead grind really bogs you down. It takes an all day's effort just to go from 50 to 60. And that's if you can if you can keep at it, if you have the willpower too. I found the first tome, Cecila, the Book of Nald. It lay not a foam from where the parchment said it would be. But gods, I cannot stop trembling. My blood runs cold simply imagining the havoc that could be wreaked with knowledge within. Such power must be safeguarded lest it fall into the wrong hands. Let us make haste and retrieve its twin, the Book of Thal. It should be at Thal's respite. Where's that at? Is that by Camp Drybone? I think it is. Because doesn't Camp Drybone have a similar little shrine past the bridge? Yes, I was right. I don't need no map to tell me where to go. I know where to go. Oh. So my plans for the role quest is, I think I mentioned it in either the Summoner or the Scholar video. I'm not quite sure which video I mentioned it in, but I'm gonna be doing it like this. Since the role quest for the casters, the ranged casters, or no, that makes no sense. The caster DPS is a Black Mage. I'm gonna be doing it as a Black Mage, like how I did. Well, I really had no choice with White Mage, but Lami was a White Mage. I was a White Mage. So we're gonna do Black Mage on Black Mage, then Paladin on Paladin, then Bard on Bard, and we'll be done. I think, right? I think. Alright, lie. Cecil, the unthinkable has happened. What's going on here? The chest is empty. The Book of Thal is gone. Who could have taken it? Who else could have known? God, if the tome's secrets were to be used for evil, this is an absolute disaster. And my words do not end there. Should the Thaumaturge's Guild somehow learn of the tome's existence, they will stop at nothing to steal them away. That cannot be borne. Master Kukuruka spent his lifetime restoring the knowledge of black magic to the world. We cannot suffer any part of it to be lost. At any rate, there is nothing more to be done here. Let's return to the Sacrarium and reassess the situation. Oh boy. Who's this guy? There's nothing left for me here. Excuse me? Who are you? No one good, probably. You look like you're up to no good. Alright. Back to the Miners Guild. This is the closest we can, closest teleport to the lie. Oops. I'm sorry you had to see me lose my composure earlier, Cecila. As I made my way back, I pondered the situation. When I found the chest, it was covered in a century's worth of dust. Some of the dust had been knocked loose by prying hands, and nothing had settled in its place. From this, it can be inferred that the tome was taken recently. Now, the tome we were able to retrieve, the Book of Null, is enciphered upon an enchantment. I think it's safe to assume that its twin benefits from like protection. Such a protection will not easily be circumvented. It'll take the thief time enough, I hope, for us to track him down, retrieve the tome, and avert disaster. But enough talk. I shall make some discreet inquiries into the missing tome. Oh, and if you do not mind, I would like you to hold on to the Book of Null for examination. In the meantime, I suggest you continue your training in the dark arts. You may need of your skills again ere long. Okay. Cecily, you come at a most opportune time. There's a task I'll have you perform. In my search for the Book of Thal, I have drawn upon all my resources in the trading spheres. The tome has not appeared in the black market, nor has it found its way to a private collection. This tells me that the thief has made no effort to sell it. If we consider, then, the fact that he was able to open a magically sealed chest, we may safely assume that this suspect is a mage and his interest in the tome is personal. However, this individual came to know the existence of black magic and seemed plain he seeks to unlock this home's secrets. To what end is too early to say, but at the very least we now have a lead. There are scarce few who share our knowledge of black magic. Your three beastmen friends who were present when Master Kukuruka rendered upon his last breath. It may be the thief's identity is known to one of them. Begin your queries at Burgundy Falls, Cecila. Find out if Kazak Cha has had any suspicious visitors of late. I got hiccups. Hiccups! Alright, let's go see what our buddy's up to. Ugh. Seeing a bunch of old faces. It's been a good while. It's been a good while. Alright, oh wait, Burgundy Falls is down this way, isn't it? Yes, let's start over there. Hello, Kazag. Cecil, I'm glad to see you again, my friend. What brings you here this day? I'm looking for any suspicious individuals. That such a tome should exist. But to answer your question, I have been visited by a suspicious man, and very recently. Though visited fails to capture the nature of our meeting. Not a bell ago, a robed man appeared before me. "Join me," he said, "and together we shall master the dark arts." A dubious offer which I naturally declined, but no sooner had the words out my mouth that he unleashed a barrage of spells at me. Though I could scarce believe it, I would swear the spells he wielded were black magic. I warded off his attacks and countered with spells of my own, and he swooped to turn tail. All this happened but a short while ago. He cannot have gone far since. If you mean to confront him, you would do well to exercise caution. Though he alone approached me, I felt the presence of others. Oh boy. Alright, where's this man at? You! Suspicious individual! What do you want? Wait, this aura. Yes, there is no mistake. You are a black mage and you will lead me to him. Now speak, or I will make you wish you had. Aren't you a black mage? Me? A black mage? How utterly ridiculous! Perhaps you're not one of them after all. I fear there has been a misunderstanding. I am not the villain who attacked the Amalja, nor does it appear you are in league with him. I see you are disinclined to believe me. Well, the truth of my words is easily verified. Let us go to Burgundy Falls and see your friend together. I wish to have words with him at any rate. Alright, you look suspicious, but you definitely don't seem like a robed man. So, I don't think it's you. But Kazag will verify for me. Hey pal, I need your opinion. Is this the man who attacked you? There is a misunderstanding that I wish to clear up. We met for the first time, and the fact that alone should suffice to settle the matter. Or meet. But for the sake of formality, pray answer this question. Am I the man who attacked you? No, you're not. You bear scant resemblance to the villain. Now that the manor is behind us, allow me to introduce myself. I am here Zahai Nelha. I'm just gonna call you Zahai. Of the Conjurers Guild in Gradania. The Seat Seer Council has sent me to find a man who wields black magic, the forbidden art of destruction. His trail led me to this area, which I chanced to witness him attacking your Amalza friend. Alas, the villain beat a hasty retreat, and I lost sight of him in the confusion. You approached me shortly thereafter. You may not be connected to the man I seek, but you are a practitioner of the dark arts nonetheless. The aura is telltale, so I don't even think to deny it. You must also answer to justice. Please, I had my time with the Conjurer Guild. The books of Nald Thal? Matron Preserve. I was unaware that such terrible tomes existed. This woman, Lalai, she may well know something useful. I'll pay her a visit, and I expect you to be there as well. Yeesh. Steph, I take it you intend to continue searching for the mystery black mage. Though I doubt his skills as a match for yours, he has proven himself unpredictable and dangerous both. Be sure to keep your wits about you. I shall go to Dazah and Dazol Melloc and apprise them of the situation. For now, you'll do well to return to the lie. If I must. I'm tired of doling out justice. I want to destroy things. All right. Okay, what's going on here? Thank Thal you've returned. This man, who I've never seen before, charged up here and started berating me for meddling for the forbidden arts. He had the nerve to call me a fool. Thrice! Aye, and I will say it again. You are a fool. But the worst fool of all was your master Kukuruka. It is because of him that these miscreants run running rampant. Let me start again. I know about the Book of Thal, and I know the people who took it. They call themselves the Defiant, and their sole objective is to master the art of destruction. The man I have been tasked with finding is their leader. Waldev is his name, and he used to be a conjurer of Stelglade fame. The man harbored a deep hunger for power, the power of those he had sworn to protect. In order to satisfy this craving, he began dabbling in the dark arts. Not long, however, his doings were made known to the guild, who summarily banished him, but as he left, he declared that one day he will show the world the true power of black magic. For years we had heard not of Waldev. Some of us dared to hope that his words were but wind. Alas, he has returned, and this could only mean one thing. He is ready to make good on his promise. Gods preserve, are you certain of this? That it is Waldev who has taken the tome? I'm afraid so. It's no coincidence that the tome went missing at the same juncture the man reappeared. Even now he continues instructing his minions in black magic, and every day that passes sees the cult grow into a bigger threat. If we are to move against them, we must do so now. I had assumed we were dealing with a lone mage, but if it is an entire cult, as you say, I will need to reconsider my plans. Cecil, while you went about your investigation, I succeeded in deciphering a new spell in the Book of Nald. It should be pretty useful in the battles to come. I shall teach it to you forthwith. What? You mean to fight destruction with more destruction? This can only end in tragedy, I tell you. Isn't the faster way to put out a fire with more fire? Is that how the saying goes? Or did I get that saying wrong? Listen to me here. Waldev and his cult may be a menace to the realm, but Cecil is nothing like them. Master Kukuruka himself entrusted her with his legacy. She'll not misuse her power and cause carnage. On that, you have my word. I cannot believe what I'm hearing. Were the situation not so dire, I would have bring you to justice without a moment's hesitation. Fortunately for you, a greater threat looms over us all, and we must cooperate if disasters to be averted. Your connections have proven useful before, and they may do so again. If you learn aught through them, I will thank you to send me the word, but know that I will not tolerate any interference in my investigation. Man, this guy's deaf. Gods, what an irksome, ignorant, insufferable idiot. To think we must cooperate with him. Heed not the mutterings of that stuck-up lout. We shall prepare for the gathering storm in our own way. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, the new spell. Ley Lines it is called, and it'll be a potent addition to your arsenal. While you go about mastering it, I will make further inquiries on the situation in hand. You do that. Got a new ability! Nice! Cecil, I've received a letter from the 269th Order of Mendicant Dazah. The Mughals' reach extends further than I had realized, but that Dazah would contact us suggests that something is very much amiss. I wait at Bronze Lake, it says, but no more than that. Though perhaps something somewhat cryptic, the letter's brevity suggests a sense of urgency. Please hurry to Bronze Lake and investigate the situation. I shall inform Zahai of this development. Though I doubt the fool can render much assistance, I gave my word that we would cooperate. Oh, let's just give the guy some time. He might come. You never know. He might come around. He might come around. A lot of these people eventually come around at some point. Like that one professor from the monk quest line. Alright. What's going on here, buddy? Cecil, I'm glad to see you. Okay. Kazog has told me what happened. This is grim news. Yes, grim news indeed. The man Kazog spoke of approached me too. Spoke of the Defiant. Said he wanted my knowledge. I told him that, I needed time to think. I told him to return later. When he returns, we shall ambush him. Yes, a sound plan, I think. I told him to meet me northeast of Bronze Lake. I shall approach as normal as bait. So I saw you lie in wait. Alright. That is an easy task. I can set up for an ambush. Alright. This guy's in the same quest as me. Coincidence. Alright, so who are we dealing with here? Oh, look at this guy. You! Are you the leader of the Defiant? My name is Waldiv, and you are descended from the First Order Patriarch Dagu, yes? Dagu is my ancestor. You know him? I've had opportunity to peruse for a fascinating tome left by Kukuruka. In it, Dagu is mentioned as a confidant who assists the master in his studies of the dark arts. It also states that Kukuruka intended to entrust the secrets of his research to those same confidants. I fully expect you to tell me about all these secrets. Then you're wrong. I shall reveal nothing to the likes of you. I'm a busy man, Dazah. If you refuse to cooperate, I simply don't have time for you. Wait, where are you going? You might have made a powerful ally, but as an enemy, you cannot be suffered to live. Find out everything he knows, then kill him. What about my ambush? Really? Well, shit. Oh, wait. Well, I ambushed the ambushers. Thank you, Cecila. Those Defiant didn't stand a chance. No chance at all. But Waldiv got away. Cecila, the library relate to me what happened. These men, were they Defiant mages? You fool! You killed every last one of them! How do you intend for us to question them now? I knew this would happen. You black mages are quick to wield your destructive powers, but rarely do you consider the consequences. You must return to the lie. Do not think I'll forget about what you've done here. Were you not in full control of your powers? Did your magics run wild? Whatever the case, I do know you saved me. Thank you, Cecila. I owe you my life. You should return to Ul'dah. Much as you protected me from the Defiant, I suspect the life may benefit from protection from that Makati. Yes, hurry to Ul'dah. Well, excuse me, it was a matter of self-defense. I've been ready for just defending myself and protecting others. Is that a crime? Apparently it is. Alright. Oops, I hit the mic. Cecil, Zaha has been standing here silently fuming for quite some time now. What's transpired? So, it was indeed Waldiv that stole the Book of Thal, and he has been studying the magics inscribed within. But did truly not a single Defiant survive? I somehow doubt that you are fully responsible for. I care not for your doubts. I explicitly told you not to interfere with my investigation. If nothing else, this shows the bloody outcome of a battle between opposing black mages. Fighting destructive power with more destructive power. It's such thinking that led to the War of the Magi. I'm sure I need to remind you of the outcome of that war. I strongly recommend you give some thought to how terrible terrible a force you toy with. The War of the Magi. I suppose I cannot blame him for seeing the parallels. A war between forces commanding unimaginably destructive magical power. But black magic is not purely to blame. It It was a violent confluence of black and white magic that ultimately led to disaster. It brought about the Sixth Umbral Calamity. It is only natural that the risk of a reoccurrence of those terrible events would instill great fear. I know you would never be so reckless as to allow something like that to happen. The problem lies not with black magic, but with the Defiant. I'm disinclined to pay heed to Zahai's words when they run counter to those of Dazah, who witnessed the battle firsthand. I find it hard to believe that you would lose control of your powers. There must be some other explanations for the deaths of those mages. It also seems that Waldev was gathering something of a following. To better oppose this growing menace, I shall teach you a new spell I recently decided from the Book of Nald. Remember, Cecilla, black magic is not the thing to be feared. As a true black mage, you have the power to control it. I believe in you. I can do it, was a Starpcast. Cecilla received another letter. Danger! Please help me hide in Alder Springs. Tell Cecilla. That's all it says. The handwriting is barely legible. Its doubtless goes without saying, but Dazal Melok is in need of your help. I shall have to tell Zahai about this. Do not dwell on his previous outburst. I know you have full control of your powers. Use this opportunity to show that man the true cunning and finesse that a black mage can bring to the fight. Enough talk. Enough talk. Hurry to Alder Springs to save Dazal Melok. Okay. I can do that. Black squat down. Oh yeah, there's the relic weapons. I forgot those. I forgot about those. What's going on here? Dead. Can my chocobo level up yet? It can. Wait, can it not? No, it can't. Never mind. Thank you, Cecilla. Saved Dazal's life, you have. Kazalk tried to warn Dazal. Dazal panicked and tried to flee, but get caught, Dazal did. Somehow I knew that Dazal was exiled from Triad, these mages did. So into the forest they chased Dazal. Finally they surrounded Dazal. Offered friendship at first, but rejected, Dazal did. They said Dazal is not friend and Dazal is enemy. But save Dazal you did. Many thanks. God, I was too late again. You've already cut your swath of reckless destruction. What did you plan to achieve? How many more lives must you end before you realize how fruitless this is? Wait, these wounds. They're unlike anything I've ever seen. It looks like they were incinerated from the inside. Cessa, was this perhaps not your doing after all? Well, I could have told you that. Of what does this man speak? Pursued Dazal for a long time, these men did. Tried to kill Dazal. Explain, who are they? What do they want? Dazal understands now. Read the book of Thal they did. Learned of mother of Dazal. Learned of her secrets. Dazal's secrets. Made clear their pursuit is. But these moons. Perhaps Dazal has an explanation. These men did not have the gem of Shitoto. Dazal thinks that is why they died. Gem of Shitoto? Whatever are you talking about? Gem is the proof that Cecil is true black mage. Gem brims with magical power. Without the gem of Shitoto, impossible to control, the most powerful black magic is. Lost control these mages did. Ether within their own bodies ignited. Burned alive from the inside. Painful way to die it is. So these defiant mages fell victim to their own arrogance, using dark magics that far outstrip their ability to control them. So Cecilon isn't at fault. The answers you seek, Dazal helps you find, but Dazal cannot stay here. Dazal must leave. Thank you, Cecilon. Dazal owes you a debt of life. One day, Dazal will repay. We're holding you to that. So these men were not slain by your hand, but by their own use of powers they couldn't control. But please understand the fact that you can control your powers does not resolve the issue at hand. You should return to the line and explain to her what happened here. Please accept my apologies for my earlier accusations. See? He's starting to come around once he started to get the picture. A little rough around the edges at first, but he's getting there. Ever so slowly. Alright. Let's go tell the Lionel what's happened. Cecil, was Dazal Melik unharmed? For the most part. None worse for the wearer. I see. If nothing else, it seems that Zahai will no longer doubt your innocence. But the Defiant were immolated from within? If Dazal Melik's conjecture is accurate, the cult's situation becomes quite clear. But I hardly need to explain that to you, do I? Let's just play it smart. Like we know what we're talking about. But I still cannot condone Zahai's attitude. I have struggled ceaselessly through my studies of the dark arts myself with what little power I have. Perhaps none can understand the Defiant's motivations better than I. The Defiant's numbers cannot continue to grow indefinitely. They will have difficulty swelling the ranks when they cannot use their powers without the risks of a horrifying death by immolation. Thus they strive for control over the dark arts, while showing themselves only to our basement friends in the hope that they might reveal the secrets to control these magics. I get it. Fortunately, we have prevented them from learning anything. With these avenues not lost to him, Waldy must realize that he is running out of options. He's trying to crack open the book to see how to control the magic. That's pretty much what he's doing without the gem Shitoto. That's what he's trying to achieve here. Though they may lack leads from which to track down the Defiant, their position becomes weaker the longer they wait. They will soon be forced to take action. There is no need to rush. We simply need to wait the enemy out. In the meantime, let me teach you a new spell I decided from the Book of Nald. Enochian. Try to master it before the Defiant make their move. Alright. It's alright. I have plenty of experience with this ability from Palace of the Dead. Cecil just received word from Zahai. He wants to speak with us. Apparently, he has secured lodging at the Hourglass and is waiting us to the quicksand. Should we head there now? We should head there now. I wonder what he could want. I don't know. Let's go find out. The Adventurers Guild. Hello, sir. What's going on? Thank you for coming so quickly. Cecil, I have something to ask of you. Some time ago, the Conjurers Guild contacted the various cities of the realm, entreating assistance in the search for and capture of Waldiv. It seems that this finally paid off. They just received a missive from the Temple Knights of Ishgard. The Defiant have been sighted at the Holy See. The cult has been trying to garner popular support there. They've been offering what they claim is the power to defeat the Gervonians to anyone who will listen. Now that Ishgard has opened its borders, it is no longer difficult to travel into the Holy See. However, I still know next to nothing about their lands. Please, Cecil, would you lend me your assistance in tracking down this evil cult and bring them to justice? Sahai, you have made no effort to conceal your disapproval that we black mages in our ways. Are we to understand that you have now come to accept us? That I have. The Temple Knights who provided us with the intelligence are stationed at the Ark of the Worthy within the city of Ishgard. They will be waiting for us there. See, he came around. Much though I would like to believe that he had a change of heart, men are not want to change so simply. One does not live one's whole life hating black magic only to change one's mind over the exoneration of a single mage. I know not what this man is plotting, but I suggest you keep a close eye on him. Oh, I'll be fine. All right. You must be the investigators from Gridania. It's about time. Someone needs to do something about that blasphemous cult. They were ranting on and on to anyone who would listen, offering the power to defeat the Dravanians. We Ishgardians have our own way of fighting. We told them as much as quite plainly, but it made no difference. They continued their proselytizing. What? Proselytizing? Is that the word? Obviously, such blasphemy could not be allowed to stand. We Temple Knights made our move, but they managed to get away. It hardly mattered to us at the time. They were no longer spreading their lies here, but they recently reappeared, this time at the convictory in the Western Highlands. Most convictors would do anything to earn honor and glory through the slaying of a powerful dragon. They are young and full of spirit, and naive. I fear that some of them may be deceived, seduced by promises of easy power. Gullible fools. Well, our destination is clear. To convictory. Falcon's Nest! I'm not sure where that is. Is that is it that one house that's way out in the middle of nowhere? Or is that camp? Yeah, it's the camp. Get that off my hot bar. I don't want it in my hot bar. I don't want it. I need to go down. Move that around. I don't use fire 2 a whole lot. Alright. There's no obvious sign of the Divine here. We should split up and ask and question the soldiers. Mijante will be able to tell me. I think I know who you're talking about. I told them I wasn't interested. Ancient spells are no match for a good spear at your side. At least there's someone sensible. But you. You're going on about the Defiant too? Well, they spent a while shouting about how they share their ultimate power with any who join them. Then they left. Apparently they set up a camp or near the Swift Runs River. What's the story of that lot anyway? Some Makani chap was asking the same thing a few minutes ago. I told him what I told you, and he ran in the right hurry. Those crazy mages. I spent years studying the art of dragon slaying. I don't need some magical help from weird outsiders. I made sure to tell them as much. At least some of these guys are sensible. Now Zahai has run off on his own. Zahai, what are you doing, buddy? It's dangerous to be running off on your own like this. See, you're already into trouble. You alright? Why is it? Why does the eyes look all blurry? I'll fight you! We cannot let them get away! Cecil, stop them! Your mana war ain't gonna help you. Watch out, there's more of them! Uh-oh. That doesn't look good. To get rid of the fishers. We're attempting to summon something. Seal the planar fisher. There's yet more of them. Beware the void sin. Fuck your fishers! I know what you must be thinking. I entreated your help only to run off on my own. But you know what happens when you get involved. You saw it happen just now. They have no choice but to fight back with all their strength. And when they do so, they lose control of their power and they burn. Nobody deserves to die like that. So I went to confront them alone. I'm a fool. My healing magic is no match for the destructive power they wield. We can work together as black and white. You're right. What did I expect to achieve, challenging them without any help at all? Had we fought together, things would have turned out differently. You taking down the mages in a flash of black magic, me nullifying their every attack with my healing spells. I truly was a fool to assume all black magic was evil. I should have seen that such power can be harnessed safely, just as it is by you. I apologize. We have lost our only lead, and this time it is clearly my fault. Please pass on my apologies to the Lalai. My actions were unbefitting of a representative of the CCR Council. I shall take my leave. I need to reflect on my actions. See? What'd I tell you? He came around. I mean, I can get where it's come from too. Death by literal combustion. That's not a pleasant thing. That's a very gruesome and painful way to go. get burned from the inside out. Yeah, that's not pleasant. Ah, you're back from Ishkon already, but where is Zahai? I see. If nothing else, he has stopped more poor souls from joining that accursed cult. I can only hope that Zahai can see it that way. The fact that the Defiant Chow so far as Ishgard in an attempt to recruit new members speaks volumes to how desperate they grow. Ah, Sassel, I almost forgot I was able to decipher the final remaining spell from the Book of Nald. Though you might not welcome an ice magic after the frigid winds of Winter Corthus, I'm certain you'll find this frighteningly powerful addition to your repertoire. I doubt the Defiant can hold out much longer. They'll be forced to use everything they have in the next fight. They cannot risk being drawn into a protracted war of attrition. Should we defeat them, we can finally recover the Book of Thol and uncover the magics within. Sweet. Mine! Blizzard 4! Cecil, your time is impeccable. Just moments ago, Zahai approached me. He ran up to me, all fuss and flurry, and told me he found the Defiant's base of operations. He then departed before I can respond. It seems that he is headed to the base himself. Though the Defiant's forces may be weakened, it's utterly reckless to approach him alone. It's as though he has learned not from the incident at Ishgard. We should waste no time traveling to the Defiant's den. Before he left, Zahai mentioned that he was at the burning wall. I shall meet you there. That's actually pretty close. I was expecting somewhere more far-flung. Burning wall, huh? Way over there. I mean, I guess it makes sense. You're far from any authorities, you're out in the middle of nowhere. You're in an area where people don't really travel to. I mean, it's a good place to hide a cult. I mean, they got the location, they got the real estate. Plus, it's in kind of a beautiful location too, so you can't go wrong with that. It's a location with a view. Zahai is nowhere to be seen. I fear he may have already fallen victim to the Defiant's destructive magics. We have no choice but to press on. If Zahai's intelligence was accurate, then Waldi must be further down this road. Are you ready? You really don't have much faith in him, do you? The Defiant laying in an ambush. Proceed with caution. Alright. I can take them on. I'm not as scared. Alright, let's get this guy out of my way. Oh, he actually absorbed my mono wall, or my blizzard. Now you die. All right, so far so good. Look who it is. Waldev! Give yourself up! Your follower is defeated. You have nowhere left to run. Huh. There's no need for me to run. The summoning ritual is complete! All shall congregate in worship of my might. I may not be powerful enough to rule this world alone, but with this void sand under my control, followers will flock from across the realm to kneel before me. That void gate, it's colossal. Whatever could even mean to summon? Waldev, stop! Whatever comes to that portal, you'll never be able to control it. Bargus! I summon thee! Present thyself to be bound my will. Ugh. And perhaps it's now you who should run. Do you truly think the two of you can defeat me alone? They're not alone. Your evil plans end here, Waldev. You're late, pal. Oh, got reinforcements too. So hi, where were you? Fool of a mage, you are lost to reason and shall be shown no mercy. Prepare yourself. Here we are, and at an end your schemes are. Cecil, we are here to help. Cecil, the lie. Forgive my late arrival. I hope I'm not too late to make a difference. No, you're inconsequential. Bargus, don't just stand there. Destroy them. No, no, not me, them. No. Oh, get wrecked. Sorry end. Defeated by the very creature he summoned. It ought to come as no surprise. He was playing with forces far beyond his reckoning. We can discuss it later. First, let's deal with this void sin. I'm not scared. I shall see you to the healing. Unleash your destructive magic upon the Barghest. Oh. Man, I do as much damage with Blizzard 4 that I do with fire, if not more. Oh, no, maybe not. What? It's going a new head! Be careful! Alright. Another head. Destroy it quickly. And it's dead. Oh, the guy's alive. I'm surprised he's able to stand after that. You could not have arrived at a better time. We thought we were lost to us. Did you think I'd rush in alone? What manner of fool do you take me for? To think that I would repeat so grave an error? Faked him out. For a moment there, I thought he might strike him. But why? You're responsible for a great many deaths, and I have been tasked with bringing you to justice. I need you alive so you may atone for your sins. Cecil, Lalai, I owe you my thanks. First, I must see to Waldy's incarceration, but once that is done, I shall return to Melvaneth Sacrarium, and thank you properly. Jeez. Well, you had it coming. You can't blame him. You too should return to the Sacrarium. I'd hate to miss something as rare as a thank you from Zahai. But first, you should speak with our beastman companions. This is a valuable opportunity to rekindle our relations with them. It would be folly to waste it. Where they at? In the cave? Yep. They're in the cave. To all fight together again. It was a hard fight, but fun. Until we meet again, Cecila. That's it. That's all you gotta say to me. What about you? I'll kill the evil black mages are. Done here, Dazal is. Dazal's debt is not repaid. It's not all you gotta say, man. You guys don't really have much to say at all. It is well that the man was brought to justice. I harbor no regrets. Sasa, my friend, though we may be at different lands, a bond we share cannot be broken. I hope we can all meet again. Now you, at least you had a little bit more to say. All right. Oh, going the wrong way. This is where I need to go. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Walt Div has been placed under arrest and is awaiting sentencing by the Padules. Sasla, thank you for all your help. The Book of Thought was amongst his belongings. The lie I entrusted to your care. Are you sure? You've made your views on black magic very clear. Our recent battles have shown me that black magic itself is not evil. It need only be used in the right way, in the pursuit of the right goals. You have shown yourselves to be noble magi with pure intentions. I trust you to use the knowledge within this book wisely. That being said, I am a conjurer. Were I to witness black magic used with ill intent, I would not hesitate to take action. Even if it were you, Lalai, I would hunt you down without mercy. Come now, Zahai, can't we have any fun? You do well not to forget that my order still considers your black magic forbidden. But if there were another more magi like you, I hope this might become the first step towards a world in which both healing and destructive magics can meet on the battlefield, not as enemies, but as allies. What's so different between thaumaturgic's magic and black magic? It's pretty much the same thing. Someone explain this to me. Man, they're both destructive. Nice. Back in black. All right, and that is the end of the level 50 through 60 Black Mage quests. So I will be back when we are level 70, where we can do the level 60 through 70 quests. Alright, we are level 70, so let's do the level 60 through 70 quests. Lalai, what is next for me? What's my next set of tasks? Cecil, I'm glad you're here. I'll consult with you about a matter that has been gnawing away at my mind. There is no small part to your efforts. The books of Nalthal have long at last been reunited in these halls, their long-lost secrets just waiting to be unearthed. Though I have scarcely begun poring over the tomes, I have already made a most remarkable discovery. Each of the twin tomes contain a cipher of sorts, the meaning of which can only be deciphered when the two of us are referenced in tandem. I will spare you the details of how I unraveled the message, though it truly was among my finer moments, if I dare say so myself. At any rate, the words, once decoded, are most evidently an incantation, albeit one entirely unfamiliar to me. Beneath it was writ a simple directive. Heir to the dark arts, speak these words until knowledge reflection that memories long forgotten may stir anew. As to what precisely these words are referencing, your guess is as good as mine. Still, Master Kukuruka doubtless preserved the incantation and the accompanying message in his records for a reason. And if we are not the heirs to the dark art of black magic, then who is? So I trust I can expect you acknowledge the reflection, but do try to hurry, yes? I prefer not to delay any potentially epic-making discoveries any longer than necessary. Epoch? It's definitely not epic. It's where was all the reflection? That's a tribal, right? No, it's not. It's an Alamigo. Oh boy. Let's see what's going on down here. Didn't I say once before this is one area you barely come to? Now we've been coming to this area a lot lately. Oh boy. Oh, there's a thing already. What's happening here? And that is all you need to know. When I give the sign, you are to chant the words precisely as instructed. Understood? Oh, good. What can go wrong? Now, Cecila! That light! What is it? Something came out of the urn. You. Yes, you shall serve as the bringer of destruction. As for my vessel, ah yes, that one should suffice. No! Are you alright? What was that strange sensation? For a moment it was as if a great fire burned within me, and then... now it's as if my very mind has been rent in two. And this voice... Uh-oh. The eyes changed. Well. Feels good to walk the earth for the first time in 2 millennia. Seems that old coot proved himself useful after all. If he hadn't kicked it, I'd find him and give him a pat on the back. This is like the whole thing with that one guy from the Thaumaturge's Guild all over again. And what are you gawking at? You are a black mage, are you not? Sure you possess the common sense to recognize the woman who stands before you, or would you be needing a hint? No, I don't. Some would call me Death's handmaiden, but I always found that particular epithet so needlessly morbid. Though technically speaking I am, but manifestation of a memory, you may call me by the name I use in life. Shitoto, at your service. But I jest, of course. It's you who are at mine. I must say, what is it with black mages today and these unwieldy hats? Do they truly believe it makes them look more imposing? Or are they merely compensating for something? And in either event, I have no need for such adornments. Oh. Man, I never really liked the black mage hats to begin with, to be honest with you. Now that's more like it. Cecil, was it? Of course it was. Now that we're on a first-name basis, you'll have to tell me all about yourself. On second thought, let's skip that. Time is short, and to be quite honest, I don't particularly care. At any rate, as I might have mentioned, I am not the true Shitoto as she once lived, but rather a manifestation of her memory. My memory. Needless to say, that still makes me the most powerful sorceress currently existing in your world. You do well to remember that if you ever have a mind to cross me. Well then, now that we've gotten the pleasantries out of the way, what do you say we have a little fun? Prepare to be blasted away into a gazillion itty-bitty pieces. Oh, come now. Must I spell everything out for you? I must know if you're sufficiently adept in the dark arts to help me foresaw a pending doom. And this is by far the easiest way to do so. Not to mention the most fun. Prepare for a world of pain. Yeesh! This already has more action than Summoner did. Do not try not to die, will you? I have need of you yet. Well, thanks. You didn't think it was all I had him receive, did you? Come, my minion, show us one the meaning of pain. Really? Alright, Chitoto. You're becoming a grave nuisance. What do you mean? This one has always been my favorite. I'm sure you'll find it a blast. I don't think so. More power! No. No power for you. Shut your down right now. Hush. Not half bad. That painfully dull expression on your face had me worried, but I suppose you'll do after all. Do for what? Try to keep up, will you? I abhor repeating myself. Let me start at the beginning. You never even told me why! 2,000, 3,000 years ago, the greatest mage of our realm has ever known, that would be me, compiled a choice assortment of the most potent offensive incantations and evocations into the school known as black magic. You still seem puzzled. I also devised a spell that would allow my memory to one day return. My reasons were twofold. For one, I simply had to see for myself how the art of destruction would be handed down eras after I had inevitably passed. For another, I knew that without my guidance, this realm would one day meet most certain... Oh, this won't do. I had thought the girl stronger than this, but... These eyelids grow heavy. My consciousness wanes. I suppose I'll just have to take a little nap. But remember this, my puppet of destruction. You have an important role to play in the battle to come. The battle will decide the fate of your very world. Till next I wake, shirk not your study of the art. No, she's down. Huh. Cecila? Where are we? It's as if I just woke up from the strangest dream. And yet my every limb aches, as if my respite was more exhausting than the fiercest of battles. Did you perchance observe anything odd that happened to me? Oh, she put the hat back on? Take the hat off, you look better without the hat. Preposterous, or so most would say. But you have no reason to tell me falsehoods, and I would certainly explain the curious symptoms I find myself experiencing. Shitoto, the mother of our dark art, she who pursued the art power of destruction to and become beyond any limits that could be conceived. Has her consciousness truly taken up residence in my own mind? It's no use. I call out, but she does not answer. Whether she slumbers or simply deigns not answer, I cannot say. I fear I am at something of a loss. Let's return to the Sacrarium and clear our heads. Mayhap the answers we seek will reveal themselves to us. Man, action-packed already. We're just starting. Alright. This is a good sign for a very interesting quest line. Because the last two weren't that great. I'm afraid it's no use. I have called out the Shitoto within my mind time and time again, but I'm only met with silence. If only Master was still here, surely he could shed some light on the matter. After all, it was he that recorded for posterity the words we used to summon for Shitoto's memory. Wait, that's it. Master himself may not be here, but his writings may yet contain the answer to our queries. It was within the innate statue of knowledge that the memory slumbered. This does not strike me as a mere coincidence. I believe that settles it. I'll return to the tomes and see what knowledge can be gleaned, and we might prepare ourselves for whatever task awaits us. This holds for you as well, Cecila. Whatever Shitoto's motives for return to us, I cannot shake the feeling that ill happenings are afoot. I suggest you resume your studies with the utmost of urgency. I mean, I don't have much of a choice. Cecila, good. For better or for worse, it would seem Shitoto is still enjoying herself for a peaceful slumber. In the meantime, my study of the books of Nal Thaw has proven rather enlightening. In particular, I was surprised to learn that while the statue of Nal's reflection is a relatively recent construction, in historical terms of course, the goblet it holds in its hands is quite ancient. It would appear that it was within that vessel Mistress Shitoto's soul was sealed away. Master's record goes on to state that the inner surface of the goblet is inscribed with a message in the glyphs of ancient Mach. It reads, yes, here it is. The power of destruction did rend the baleful star, and death and peace doth reign near and afar. Yet 23 centuries hence shall it come anew, and certain doom is sure to ensue. A prophecy of sorts, it seems. It has been roughly 2,300 years since Shitoto founded black magic, which means it is entirely possible she herself left the inscription. But whatever sort of doom could the prophecy be referring to? I fear it is all rather cryptic. Lalai! And Cecil as well! I'll speak with both of you at once. Oh, hello, guy. Well, I would like nothing more than catch up on old times. I come bearing grave tidings. My friends, pray lend me your aid. Wolf is our favorite I can never say this word right. Gaboo-headed hearer. I would have thought that the seventh hell would freeze over before you cast your lot with purveyors of destruction. What have you done to deserve the honor of your groveling? This is no time for jest, Lalai. The situation is most dire. Why, a veritable horde of crazed golems has burst forth from the lost city and is wreaking havoc on the Twelvewood even as we speak. Whatever foul sorcery led them to abandon their orders and run rampant, we cannot say. But one thing is certain, if we do not deal with them and do so swiftly, there is no telling what rampage they might inflict upon our forest home. That does sound like a cause for concern. Very well. I suppose it would not kill us to put the matter of Shitoto aside for the moment and... Wait, no, not now! Huh. Well, that's interesting. I say, how can the girl think straight with this ungodly fool's cap weighing her down? Or perhaps she can't, and that's why. But of course, it all makes perfect sense. Oh, hello there. Did you miss me and my prodigious intellect? Of course you did. Now look, we haven't much time, so do try to keep pace. The Surge of Ether? Just who? What are you? Yes, I'm sure there's so much that you'd like to know, but where would that get us? I've already heard all I need to know through the girl's ears. We are needed in the South Shroud, yes? Rampaging golems, was it? Indeed. I have tasked a whaler named Alphine with looking into the matter. With any luck, he has gleaned some knowledge which might avail us in plotting a suitable course of action. Alphine. South Shroud. Yes, I believe the great Shitoto has all she needs. Well, come now. No point standing around like gawping goo-boos when there's work to be done, right? Right! Shitoto? Cecila? I am most grateful for your aid, but do not get me wrong. But if there is anything you and the lie have been keeping from me, mark my words, I will hear of it in full when our task is done. Well, it's kind of new. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it myself. Alright. The South Shroud. Let's do it. Probably the Camp Tranquil. Welcome, friends. You come seeking news of the golems, yes? What that had any to give. I fear not seeing one of the creatures has manifested itself before mine eyes. So you say, my good man, but is it possible that you do not see the trees of the forest? Sometimes that which we seek is right before us, and we need only to attune our vision. Why, is it just me, or do I spy a number of curious stone structures peeking out from the brush? Yes, I have an inkling that our foe may be hiding in plain sight. But just how is one distinguished living stone from more ordinary type? Why, I do believe the former would take far less kindly to being scorched with the burst of hell's fire. So the plan is clear, yes? Let's get blasting. Well, it's one way to do it. Alright. Stone number 1. There we go. Found one. Yeah. Put the image up because people are talking. All right. Number 2. Why didn't the first one count it? Alright. And then statue number 3. I mean, all these stones seem suspicious. Got him! Alright. That was fun, wasn't it? Now, while I'm not wont to repeat myself, it seems I should make an exception for the slower members of our band. You have the privilege of standing before the Archmage Shitoto, or rather, a memory of the same which has awakened after years of slumber to rescue your realm from a fate most dire. Slower? Lady Shitoto, if that is truly who you are, I cannot deny your arcane prowess. Yet there is much about this matter that does not sit well with me. Pray explain yourself. What is this dire fate of which you speak? Oh dear, you really aren't very smart. Very well, I shall begin from the very beginning. Dear me, did I almost rhyme? Who does that anyway? Anyhow, the tale begins with some 2 millennia ago when the great civilization of Mog was still in its infancy. Our scholars ascertained that a mighty comet, awash with unspeakable ethereal energy, was on course to strike our fair home and reduce it to so much rubble. And so I thought to rectify the situation with the only way I knew how, by blasting the foul rock out of the sky with the most powerful destructive magic our realm had ever seen. This, more than anything, was what spurred me to develop the art of black magic as it is known today. Needless to say, my plan was a remarkable success. A massive chunk of the comet was scattered, knocking it clear off its path and sending it spinning harmlessly off into the heavens. The story, however, does not end there. Fragments of the meteor hurtled to and embedded themselves in the earth. While small enough that their impact caused no significant damage, they remained beneath the surface, brimming with etheric energies, just waiting to be unearthed. Needless to say, these otherworldly stones drew the attention of mages far and wide, who sought to claim their powers for their own. These are the stones who gave golems their souls, by whose powers many a city-state flourish. And yet, these stones held yet further secrets. When two of them were brought together, they would call out to one another, ether reacting to ether to augment their mutual powers to still greater heights. Mind you, the power of mere fragments, even in a heightened state, would be far too meager to be cause for concern. One threat, however, still lingered. What if the comet, the motherstone of all, as it were, were to return, its circuitous orbit bringing it in the short shouting distance of our world once more? Would not its remnants, its children, summon it hither in all its destructive glory? Preposterous! Did your vaunted black magic not knock the comet clear across the skies? Why, it is simply inconceivable that its path would bring it round back in our direction. Inconceivable to feebler minds, mayhap, but not my own. In fact, I posit that the comet is drawing nearer every moment, and it is for this very reason that the golems are now running amok. If left unattended, the implications of this will be calamitous indeed. Fortunately, you have an ally in the impending battle, a prodigy who foresaw the danger that was to come and sent her memory into the future that she might return to save the day. Do you mean to say that you predicted this threat would come over 2,000 years ago? Over 2,000 years ago, mind you, and devised an incantation for the sole purpose of allowing you to return to us in our time of need? I do believe I've already said precisely that. Of course, I did not do it entirely on my own. The spell would have been lost to history if crazy old Kukuruka hadn't dug it up when he did and recorded it for posterity. Dear little Lalai and Cecil also played their parts as well. Oh, how wonderful it is when one's followers, against their natural tendencies perhaps, manage not to make an utter mess of things. I must admit, the whole story still strikes me as a bit far-fetched. I mistrust neither your motives nor your skill, Lady Shitoto, but as a hero charged with the protection of this forest, I cannot leave this matter to you alone. I will accompany you to offer what aid I can, but first, let's return to Ul'dah. I would hear more of the plan you propose before we take action. Must you? Very well, just promise you will not get in our way. Now come along, my puppets. I have a realm to save, and you're going to help me. Yeesh! I didn't take the image off. I'm sorry. I just noticed that. I gotta get back to that habit whenever people start talking. Okay, now I can toss it out because it looks like they've stopped. All right. No, not you. No! Shitoto! The hero assures me that there have been no golem uprisings elsewhere, and since he clearly is too thick to tell a convincing lie, I am inclined to believe him. This means that we still have time to form a plan of attack. I do pride myself on my honesty, so I'll be honest with you when I say this. Your art is, to put it kindly, not looked fondly upon in our day and age, and your story stretches the limits of believability. We cannot stave this off this calamity alone, but any entreaties you might make are not like to find a receptive audience. I, on the other hand, have friends in the positions of some prominence. I shall reach out to them and see what aid they are willing to offer. How charming! He actually thinks he might prove himself useful. In your spare time, might you not ask your astrologian friends if they have any recent calculations on the comet's path? I have no reason to doubt the accuracy of my own, of course, but I was working off 2 millennia old data. As you wish. Forgive me for being forward, but might I inquire as to the well-being of our mutual friend Lalai? She's still in there somewhere, yes? Oh, she most certainly is. Or not, the girl's consciousness is just enjoying a short respite. Which reminds me, I really am due for a nap myself. Be dear and try not to let things go to hells in my absence, will you? Shitoto, mother of the art that brought the great floods upon us. Has she truly returned to deliver us from doom? The progenitor of our esteemed artist chosen me as her vessel in hopes of saving our world from a falling star? I can scarce imagine a greater honor. Come, Sessa, we must put our minds together and figure out how we might do best do her bidding. Wait, Lalai. If we take her words at face value, Shitoto has only the realm's best interests at heart, and yet I, for one, remain skeptical. Which is not to say I doubt her intentions, or yours for that matter, and yet we speak of the founder of the very art which gave rise to the War of the Magi and the Sixth Umbral Calamity. Could it not be that, even in seeking to save our realm, she is left as not to destroy it? Blasphemy! Why, Lady Shitoto had long since passed when the war broke out. Only a blind, blustering half-wit would even think to hold her responsible for, though, when I put it that way. I understand this, and that is why I begrudge neither you nor her my aid, such as it will serve to protect the realm's peace. At the same time, I intend to keep a close watch on her. One can never be too wary, after all. In any event, I will gather what knowledge I can on the threat we face, and I would be most grateful if you could do the same. Might I suggest speaking with your beastmen allies? If the idea has not already occurred to you, that is. I swear that man's head is made of harder stone than any golem. Still, at least he's cooperating with us, which is progress of some sort. In any event, I will reach out to our beastmen friends. I encourage you to return to your studies in the meantime. If one thing is clear, it is that the task ahead will test us to our very limits. Fine. Not that much of a choice, do I? Sessa, I trust you have not been shirking your studies. Mr. Shitoto expects much of us, and I will not disappoint her. For my own part, I have called out to her intently time and time again within my mind in hopes of conveying any and all knowledge that might avail in staving off this impending disaster. Though she does not respond, I have the distinct sensation that she is listening, in some way or another. Doubtless she will return when she sees fit, but in the meanwhile we can ill afford to bide our time. So I've taken Zahai's advice. I can see just the smug grin on his face when I say that, and I've reached out to our friends. Not moments ago, a post-Moogle came by with a missive from our friend Dazah of the 269th Order. As luck would have it, it seems he has knowledge that might serve us well. To wit, reports of recent sightings of rampaging golems. I would ask that you go on ahead and see what he knows. I will call for that holier-than-thou here and join you shortly. Not that I'm enamored by his company, far from it, but his insights have proven to be not altogether useless on occasion. Huh. Oh, we're going to Reven's Soul, huh? Alright. Not what I was expecting. Where you at, sir? You're hiding in the corner. That seems suspicious. Sessa has been eons. I have heard that the spirit of the legendary Shitoto comes alive again and said the lie, but could this wondrous tale possibly be true? Indeed, it is indeed, friend Dazah. She is a capricious type, though she wakes only when she has a mind to. A fact that I have explained on some 700 times to this mutton-headed hearer, who still insists beyond all reason that I should be able to summon her at will. You do me discredit, Lalai. I merely suggested that if there were some means by which you can summon Shitoto at our own convenience, rather than waiting for her to come forth of her own accord, it might serve us in facing the dangers ahead. Summon her? You speak of the illustrious founder of my art as if she were a mere serving girl. You'll watch your tongue in the presence of your betters, Sahai. Less... Body switch! I meant no disrespect. I do not deny the power of your art, nor the good it can do in the right hands. I'm simply... too stubborn, too stupid to fully accept it. Oh well, I suppose none of us will be perfect. Myself excluded, of course. 269th Order Mendicant Dazah, I presume. Tell me all you've seen or heard about this rampaging golem. Are my eyes to be believed? Trust... Is this true, the great Chitoto who stands before my eyes? Yes, yes, it must be. I mean, but of course, my lady. Yes, yes. Dazah will tell all he knows. I saw a strange golem, wandering in the tangle, and that is not all. It was no ordinary golem, no, but rather the same one I saw in the tome handed down from my forebear, Dagu, a golem of ancient Mach. One of my own creations? Why, that is simply inconceivable. I designed them to be utterly rampage-proof and left copious instructions to ensure that my loyal apprentices and their apprentices and so on and so forth would see that they stay that way. Mayhap your father was not so diligent in carrying out your orders after your passing. We all know of the chaos and destruction wreaked by Maki sorcerers during the War of the Magi. I suspect that poring over age-old documents on the upkeep of golems was the last of their concerns. Forgive me my doubts, Lady Chitoto, but you seem quite partial to your own creations. And your countrymen. If we were to find ourselves locked in combat with the golem of Mach, do I have your assurance we would not hesitate to strike down our foe? You do not trust me. Trust us. This I know. I am not deaf to the lies, ceaseless grumblings. So be it. You cannot help it. You cannot help being a simpleton, no more than I can help being the greatest intellect of any era. That old Kukuruka told me what became of Maki after my passing when he communed with me a century ago. Do you think I deny the senseless destruction caused by my descendants? With the art himself wrought, no less? Of course not. For I, unlike some of my present companions, am not a bloody fool. But even a fool must understand that a tool is only good or evil as she who would wield it. So answer me this. What could I possibly stand to gain from standing idly as my own creations wreak havoc on the realm I once called home? I'll grant that there is some sense in what you say. In any event, we thank you for your assistance, Dazah. Rest assured that we shall see to the rogue golems before any harm befalls you and yours. To the tangle! Does that overdwell never lighten up? It must be so tiring living each day carrying out around a brain of solid stone. Huh. You can say that again, my synonym-abusing friend. Cecila, you know the man better than I, and for that I pity you. Is there nothing we can do to buy ourselves a moment's respite from for his inane quibbling? Whatever do you suppose is bothering this puny mind? Mayhap he worries for a little eye. I mean, there's no way he's in awe of her power. Yes, I observed this as well. Smaller minds are quick to burden themselves with a hand-wringing concern with the well-being of others, as if it were not evident that the girl is more than capable of taking care of herself. In any event, if he insists on tagging along with us, I suppose it would not hurt to win him over, if only so he does not foul things up at the worst possible time. Anyhow, I do believe we have some golems to smite into oblivion. The tangle, was it? I'll see you there, and do try not to get lost in the way. Me? You're the one who's been asleep for centuries. Man, Chitoto's she's kind of a difficult person to handle, to deal with. These lands were far more dry and agreeable in my day, but I suppose much can change in 2 millennia, especially without me around to keep things in order. But this is no time to get caught up in nostalgia. We have golems to smash and search for. Not necessarily in that order, I suppose. Yes, I can sense particularly strong etheric energies coming from that direction. I'll accompany Chitoto to ensure that she remains focused on the task at hand. But you survey the area south of here? These environs afford our foe no end of hiding spots, and I'm ill-inclined to walk into an ambush. Ah, yeah. This is one of those places. I could definitely see that. Alright. You look far and wide, but can discern no sign of golems, rampaging or otherwise. Return to the southwestern reaches of the Tangle and see how Shitoto and Zahai fare in their search. Well, that was fruitless. What about you guys? Who you guys had better? Uh-oh. Die! Are you alright, Shitoto? Ugh. If all this body were my own, I would have raised that oversized block of stone to the ground. I suppose I should thank you for coming to my aid. Had I lost consciousness in the midst of battle, I would have certainly have been done for, and poor Lilai with me. No, Lady Shitoto, it was I who owe you a debt of gratitude. Had you not drawn the creature's initial strike, I would surely have met an inglorious end, but that is not the least of my failings. It's my fault, and mine alone, that we were caught unawares. Though it shames me to say so, my eyes were on you when they should have been watching out for our enemy. Who is the sorceress who wields such frightful power? Does she truly mean to save our realm, or will she destroy it? These thoughts continue to haunt me, but no more. Seeing you risk your life for me, a humble hero who you have only just met, I say this only with no reservations. You are a paragon of virtue and a model to all mages, white or black. Why, I do believe those are the most intelligent words I've heard you utter yet. Keep talking like that, I might learn to tolerate your presence. But if you think that means I'm willing to give you your precious Lilai back, you'd best think again. We still have a fallen star to fend off, do we not? My precious Lilai? I have not the slightest idea what you might be implying. Huh. You wouldn't, would you? You wouldn't, would you? Was it not your grand dream to see the white and black, like arts of healing and destruction, united for the common good? So says Lilai, at the very least. Is the girl not an invaluable piece of the future you would realize? This is all well and true, but invaluable and precious have different connotations. It may happen not in your time, but the meanings of words evolve over time, you see, and... What I'm saying is, of course Lilai is a friend and ally, but the same can be said of Cecil here, and... Which is not to say I do not want to see her again, of course, only that... Oh, never mind. You're burying yourself in a deeper hole, buddy. At any rate, I do believe we've done all we can here. Lady Shitoto, please forgive me for having doubted you. Henceforth, I promise I'll aid you in whatever way I can. And with that, I believe I must be off, somewhere. Oh, he ran away! Oh, he's back. One last thing, if I may, Lady Shitoto. While you're awake and speaking with us, what becomes of Lilai's consciousness? To say, is she still in there, listening? What a curious question. She is slumbering in the recesses of her mind, much as I am when she is awake. But to answer your question, no, she's not listening, though we do have some rather stimulating conversation from time to time. If you'd like, I can share the details. No, I mean, never mind. I really must be getting up to... Right, that place I was going... Are all men this era so odd? At any rate, I feel my conscience begin to wane. Lilai will be waking from slumber long, and I will return to Ul'dah before she does. I suggest you do the same. Your friend has much she wishes to discuss with you. Lord. It's like watching an anime. Alright. Hello, Lalai. Welcome back, Cecil. As you might have surmised, it is I, Lalai. Mistress Satoto has returned to her repose not moments ago. Before drifting out to slumber, she imparted to me some details regarding what she sees as the next phase of our task. To wit, she would have us venture further afield to investigate any golem menaces that might be staring out of eyeshot. Speaking of menaces, whatever became of that stone-headed hearer? I suppose it is too much to hope that Mistress Satoto finally set his robes alight. He has not come. Well, I mean, this kind of he's come to. Well. Oh boy. You know what? Let's do this. He seems to have feelings for you. I'll assume I misheard you, Cecil. On the off chance I did not, pray inform the man that he had best not act upon these feelings in my presence, as I feel like scorching his precious flowing locks from his scalp. Anyhow, I would trust you to keep me informed if our hero friend exhibits any more impertinent behavior. I will think of a suitable retribution. I dare say putting him to sleep and hiding his glasses and send a clear message, and be rather amusing no less. In any event, I shall return to my research, as should you. Satoto will doubtless call upon us before long, and our powers must be primed for the occasion. These guys are like a comedy joke. Cecil, the moment you entered the room, I could feel the air crackling with etheric energy. Excellent. Your diligence in your training will surely serve us well, and you'd come at a perfect time. Not moments before you arrived, Shitoto's voice called out to me from the recesses of my consciousness. She would have us begin to lay the groundwork for the final stage of her plan. She made it quite clear that we will require all the aid we can muster. I have taken the liberty of reaching out to our beastmen friends. They have convened at Kazak Cha's residence at Burgundy Falls, where they wait our arrival. Let's not keep them waiting. Alright, let's go check them out. Let's see what we gotta do. I'll tell you what, whatever I have for dinner is not agreeing with my stomach right about now. Lalai, what's going on here? My friends, thank you for coming together on such short notice. Mistress Satoto would have you know that she is most grateful for your cooperation. In fact, I believe she would rather speak to you directly. Well, it seems the gang's all here. I dare say it's time we got this proverbial show on the road. Here, tell me you've made yourself useful in the last time I saw your vapid face. Aye, Lady Satoto. According to my colleagues in the Eorzean Alliance, patrols have sighted an increasing number of rampant golems afield. Fortunately, none of them pose a significant threat, at least not as of yet. Which brings us to the matter of the comet. A colleague of mine at the observatory was confirmed that it draws nearer with each passing hour, though there is no immediate danger of a collision if it stays on its present course. It is too close for comfort, yes. Fortunately, I, as is my wont, have a plan. I simply hope that you, my friends, are up to the task. If the hero speaks true, the golems have been causing trouble near the city-states, have been more bark than bite, failed with no great difficulty by middling soldiers. From this, I surmise that the gems set within them, there are soul stones that have been small and of meager power at best. And yet, if my theory holds, a more sinister threat lurks in the realm's far reaches, far from the prodding eyes of Eorzean and Beastmen alike. This is where we must go. Perplexed Azul is, profoundly, deeply perplexed. By people to do the work of a people, our golems created. To travel so far from their master's domain, these constructs have no reason. True, is this not? Well, I'll be a passably astute observation, but I fear your knowledge is lacking, my squawking friend. Golems come in all shapes and forms, and not all are wrought by the hand of a mortal creator. Often a gem of sufficient etheric power will attract all manner of matter, plant, mineral, and animal alike, spontaneously animating it and giving rise to new life. With naught to guide them, these feral golems rove and wander at will. It is these unpredictable specimens that pose the greatest danger. The larger the gem that serves as their soul stone, the greater their power, and the greater the threat when the comet draws nigh. It would appear our task is clear. Let us split up and hunt down these abominations. I shall join our beastmen friends and make for the west. I'll leave the eastern reaches of the to the two of you. I trust you'll be able to fend for yourselves. There is one matter in particular to ask you to investigate. My friends at the Alliance conveyed to me a most curious report, which Lady Chatella's words just now put it in a rather different light. Over in Girabania, in the hamlet of Al-Ghana, the villagers have claimed sightings of, in their words, trees that walk like men. These have gone entirely uninvestigated and written off as the delusions and fantasies of superstitious common folk. But if Lady Chatella speaks true, which I do, they are golems beyond the slimmest shadow of a doubt. Worry not, for Cecil and I will uproot them and reduce every last leaf and strip of bark to smoldering ash. Won't we, Cecil? I'll leave the particulars regarding the means of destruction to the experts. I have, however, procured a link pearl that we might better coordinate our efforts. Pray take it with you. And with that, I do believe we are as prepared as we could hope to be. Let's be off, my friends. And remember, should it go amiss, contact us via link pearl. A device so allow that pretentious putting head to talk to me even if I'm 100 miles away? Far be it from me to scoff at technological progress, but some inventions really could have been done without. You get used to it. He's not that bad of a guy once you actually get to know him. Alright, Al-Ghana. We haven't been here in a good while. Alright. How interesting. While Mock has devolved into a vermin-infested bog, Girabani is, if anything, looking more lively than I remember. Not that that's saying much, of course. But look at me, getting all nostalgic for no reason. After all, my body has long since returned to the dust, and soon even my memory will fade. But before that, we have a job to do, don't we? I can sense no unusual etheric presence here, so let's venture a bit further into the field. Come along now, Cecil. Alright. There's gotta be something around here. Where you at, lass? Get my chocobo out. Every bit of XP helps. Ah! Well, there's the golems. That was easy. Look, she had no problem either. Did you come upon any golems, Tesla? As you can see, these two had the misfortune of coming upon the little old me. But that's not all I saw. Yes, it was a most remarkable and most horrifying sight. After I delivered a mortal wound to one of the creatures, I saw it extend a gnarled limb, and with the last ounce of its strength, try to rip the soulstone from his cohort's chest. Yes, it would seem these feral golems have no qualms with cannibalizing each other, which has led to me quite a frightening conclusion. To wit, of all the... whatever could that four-eyed fool want at a time like this? Yes, if you have anything to report, make it quick. What? Yes, it would be wise for you to make a discreet retreat. We will do the same. I will reevaluate our options in light of these most troubling developments. Very well, we'll join you at the observatorium shortly. Do gather all the information you can from your colleagues before I arrive. What's going on? Gods be good, that hero has actually proven himself useful. It would seem you came upon a most startling scene in the hinterlands. A mass influx of golems of all shapes and sizes, as if summoned from all reaches of the realm by some unholy force. I have my own theories of what this means, but I require more knowledge before planning our next step. One thing I can say is that we should immediately begin preparing for the worst. In any event, we must move, and quickly. You return to Burgundy Falls and apprise the beastmen of where we stand. I shall go on ahead to the observatorium and see what knowledge the astrologians have gleaned, and join you as soon as I am able. Alright. That's not good. That's not good at all. Let's go fill in our buddies. Oh, look at this whale's ass in my screen. This whale is so obnoxiously big. Alright. Let's go tell our beastmen friends about what's been happening. Maybe they have some more luck. Or not luck, maybe they have some more information to share with us. Friends, comrades, brothers and sisters of the Black, we stand at the brink of a disaster most dire. Even as we speak, our foe grows in numbers. Beings of sentient stone and wood gather, summoned by an unknown force, and united for a common purpose. A purpose beyond our understanding. Beyond your understanding, perhaps, but not mine. The golems make for so small. In Garibani, I witnessed a most unsettling sight. A golem with an almost animal fury tearing into its cohort's chest. Disturbing as it was all too clear what I was witnessing. The creature saw a stronger soulstone, and that it might augment in strength to prolong its own existence. But the power these creatures seek is not limited to that which they can harvest on their own kind. No, they are forever in search for a more potent etheric source, and they have finally found one. The astrologians at the observatorium have confirmed my worst fears. The baleful star of our past slowly but inexorably changes course, bringing it closer and closer to the star. It is as Lady Shitoto says. The golems call out to it, beckoning it ever closer. According to the latest calculations, any further adjustment to its core path and it is all but certain to strike Eorzea head on. Oh. The baleful creatures would climb the highest peak in the land and summon their mother stone to bring disaster to our realm? Inconceivable. And yet, it's just so, my friend. Unless we destroy the lot of them, a collision is all but inevitable. And yet there are simply too many. And even if we could thin the ranks, they would regrow themselves and regroup in no time. So we're done for. Doomed, defeated, done for. Do not give up hope, my frenetic friend. Or do you forget that the most brilliant mind to ever walk the face of Eorzea stands with you? Allow me to propose a foolproof plan. We do absolutely nothing at all. That sounds like a great plan. I could have thought of that. For now, that is. We know that the golems are feeding on each other in pursuit of greater and greater power. Why not sit back and let the process of unnatural selection take its course, till we are left with but a single foe? I mean, yeah, if they're killing each other, sure. Out of our mind, Shitoto is. Were that to happen, a creature of untold power and puissance that golem would be. Quite so. It would be the mother of all automata, the golem equivalent of yours truly, if you will, and by definition, one of the most formidable foes our realm has ever seen. Fortunately, I do believe there's one among us who might stand half a chance against him with such a monstrosity. Cecila, Lady Shitoto insists that you hold... Nay, you are the key to this entire operation. I'm not inclined to doubt her, but I would hear from your own lips. Can you say with all certainty that you would emerge victorious over this hypothetical golem of mythical proportions? Yes! I've overcome more dangerous obstacles. Thank you, my friend. Your courage inspires me. Pray let me offer my strength that together we may secure this future of our realm. I doubt Cecil and I will have much need of your services, but I do feel free to tag along. It'll be my honor, and with that I shall take my leave. I must warn the people of the nearby settlements to keep a wide berth of the Great Peak. I will even have the occasion to smash a golem or two on my journey. Calling me impressed, Cecila. Your friends are proved more reliable than by the minute. And with that, I shall return to the Sacchareum before my grip of the consciousness grows more tenuous by the moment. Pray return when you can, and speak with the lie upon her awakening. Like I told you, man, you just had to give them time to come around, you know? Everyone eventually does. Well, okay, maybe not everyone, but most people do. The lie. Since I've called out to Shitoto, but to no avail. No doubt she is deep in slumber, gathering her strength for the battle to come. She did, however, leave a message for you. Slack not in your training, my puppet of destruction, for your powers will be tested as never before. That is not ominous in the least, now is it? In any event, I trust you'll be up to the task. Naturally. Cecil, I trust you have prepared yourself well. Our foe musters at Annex Trine. The hour of our final confrontation is nigh. I hear and our beastmen friends are en route to the Forelands as we speak. I'll join them with all haste. You come as soon as you are able. Shitoto will be waiting your arrival. Alright. Let's do it. You know, you would think with this being a Stormblood expansion story, you'd think the Stormblood areas would be more prevalent in them. That same goes for a lot. Same goes for the Heavensward ones too. The Heavensward ones weren't really prevalent. Well, I thank you so much, so very much, the lie. With my own corporeal form having long since faded to dust, it is an honor and a pleasure to see my legacy carried on by women, men, and beastmen after my own. Oops, was I just speaking aloud? You can stop gawking at any time now. Or have you forgotten we have an army of power-hungry golems bent on destroying our realm to dispose of? Fortunately, I have already formulated the perfect plan of attack. You three will cede to the stragglers still attempting to scale the mountain. I trust you can handle that much. Here, Cecil and myself will scale the summit where the oversized, augmented agglomeration of golems surely awaits us. If I may be so bold, Lady Shitoto, proffer a small amendment to this plan. Somal, as you surely know, is this holy place to all dragons who call this land home. I am ill inclined to wage battle without first obtaining their blessing. The elder seeds here has told me that Cecil has a friend among their kind. Perhaps it would be best if she sought the counsel of this Vidolfnir before we proceed. I can't believe I'm saying this, but that's hardly the worst idea I've heard today. After all, it could have hardly hurt to add another powerful ally to our ranks. What are we waiting for then? Lead the way. Alright. Let's go pay our buddy Vidofnir a visit. Vidofnir. It's been a while since I've seen you. An unholy menace doth gather in our midst, threaten to summon doom from the heavens down upon this realm, such as thy plight? I too did sense the presence of an intruder in our sacred home. At first I was content to observe, but the danger hath grown too great. Warrior of warriors, if thou and thine would take up arms against our common foe, thou dost have my blessing. Well, that's a ringing endorsement if I've ever heard one. Here, send word to our beastmen friends. We commence the operation at once. There's no time, Cecilla. Let's make for the summit and dispose of the abomination that awaits us before the comet gets too close for comfort. Alright. Let's do it. We're ready to fight the Sephiroth of Golems. Ew. Hello. Understood. Before I leave the rest to us. Lady Shitoto, my colleague from the Observatorium has confirmed your suspicions. On its current path, the fallen star will sail wide of us, if by the slimmest margins. And yet the path shifts with every second, bringing us slowly and inexorably to the brink of calamity. Call it a hunch, but I do believe this imposing fellow might be responsible. Well, I'm glad to see the obvious hasn't escaped you. At any rate, our task is clear. We need to only reduce him to dust before he can summon his dear mother any closer. Well, Cecilla, are you ready to stand alongside the greatest mage to ever live in battle for the very future of your world? Look sharp, this is our time to shine. That sound effect was from Zai's staff. Alright. Be strong, my friends. My magic will salve your wounds. Well, aren't you a big boy? Alright, I'll draw him to us. Let's cut him down in size. What's this? Look out, my friends! Something comes from above! Uh-oh. A fragment of the comet? What is happening here? It's a zone of ether from the fragment. Come back here, you oversized brute! No! No powers for you! Again? I swear if I ever never see one of these stones for the rest of my days. Yes, yes, yes. Let's talk game more destroying, I say. Die, Golem! Well, that was fun. Victory's ours. I only pray it does not come too late. Perhaps if you had some black magic in your repertoire, but it is no matter. I have the utmost faith that Cecil and my efforts were not in vain. Let's find out. That light! The 12 of mercy! There's a comment. Whew! Dodged a bullet there. Here it comes, and there it goes. And with that, my friends, I do believe we've been spared a most crushing fate. Stand tall, Cecila. You and I just saved the world. And I suppose I should thank you as well here for doing a most remarkable job of not mucking everything up. And with that, I believe my work here is done. While I'd love nothing more than to stay and save our victory a bit longer, all good things must come to an end. Don't look all sad now. With such promising protégés that carry on my legacy, I can go to rest knowing that I did not mother the art of destruction in vain. You have seen our art wielded for the greatest of good and worst of evil. Having witnessed firsthand of your prowess and the sheer strength of your resolve, I gladly leave the future of our art in your hands. Walk the path well, Cecil of the Black. That millennia from now, when we have long since faded into a dim memory, those who follow in our footsteps may yet wield their prodigious powers against any who would bring them harm to our fair realm. You put the hat back on. You're better with the hat off. Be proud, Cecila. Having shared a mind of Mistress Chitoto all this time, I can assure you that if that effuse praise does not come easily to her lips, I can still scarcely believe she did me the honor of choosing my body as a vessel. Before meeting her in the flesh, in a manner of speaking, I had assumed Death's handmaiden was a little more than a witch obsessed with fire and destruction. It would seem my impression may have been an error. May have been? Does your prudish pig-headed prejudice know no ends? Huh. As charming as ever, I see. Or did I say you could learn a thing or two from your esteemed forebear on how to treat a gentleman? Oh, is that so? Cecila, if you happen to see any gentlemen around these parts, do let me know. At any rate, we're done here. Let's leave this uncultured boar here to reflect for a bit on how to treat a lady. These guys like brother and sister. But hey, I mean, if you're able to argue with, somebody and still remain on good terms with them, I mean, that's signs of a good relationship, right? Is that how that goes? It's something to that effect, I know that. Oh wait. No! I went to the wrong area! Damn it! Where's Kazacha? God damn, he's still over there. I'm getting ahead of myself here. We left our beastman buddies behind. Hey guys, sorry, I kind of left you in the lurch. Many golems did come to scale the peak, but they come no more. Laid low by our magics. The heavens too are calm. I trust your battle with the great beast ended in victory. Just so, my friend. Not to boast, but even Lady Shitoto is most impressed with our efforts. Is that not so, Cecila? 3 cheers for Shitoto! 3 cheers for Cecila! 3 cheers for the art of destruction! Huzzah! Far be it for me to rain on your parade, but let's not forget that the healer in your ranks played at least a small part in your victory. A happy day this is. Fly home to share the joy of his brothers and sisters. Dazal will. You will visit Dazal again to share magical learnings. Yes, then? Yes? Till then, friend. I too must take my leave, but know that even when we are apart, we always stand as one. Till next we meet, my friend. Alright. Our team must return to Radani and deliver my official report. I suppose this is farewell at least for now. Well, don't let us keep you. Though, I was wondering if I might express my gratitude to your colleagues at the observatorium. On behalf of Mr. Shitoto, that is. Leave that to me. I fear not all my friends are so open-minded. If they were to learn that I had allied myself with beastmen and practitioners of the dark arts, there's no telling what sort of twisted rumors might spread. Fear not, Lalai. You have my word as a hero and healer. I'll do all I can to work toward a day when you and your fellows can stand proud to receive credit for all the good you have done. I could not bear to say this in his presence, but our hero friend has come quite far, wouldn't you say? I too would do everything in my power to make that day a reality. And with that, I do believe our job here is done. Shall we return to the Sacrarium? Okay, now I can go back there. Alright. Lie. Welcome back, Cecila. Once again, I must express my gratitude for all you have done, as well as my profound respect. You have mastered our art to a degree that few of us have ever attained. While it is not like me to dwell on such matters, I was just reflecting on the hero's words. Once again, the truth of the battle we waged will never be known to those who we fought to save. Needless to say, we do not do what we do for accolades or glory. We do it because it must be done, and to sate our own intellectual curiosity, and yet it does not sit well with me. No, I cannot just turn a blind eye while the deeds of my friends and mentors are swallowed by history, never again to see the light. When the day will come that we can emerge from the shadows, I cannot say. But for that day, and for the eyes of all who would follow in our footsteps, I will put all I have seen to paper, just as Master Kukuruka once did. All we had learned of our realm and the arcane, of course, and that is not all. I would write the bravery of our beastmen friends, of a stubborn, self-important hero who against all odds proved himself a friend. Most of all, I'll write of the illustrious founder of our glorious art and the adventurer who she would personally entrust with carrying on her legacy. Why, I dare say the chapter will write itself. Alright. Nice. Cool. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Alright, that's the end of the level 60 through 70 job quests. Now, we got the sole single level 80 quest. But, now that I'm a black mage, I gotta get to level 80 first, obviously. And since I'm a black mage now, obviously, I can now do one of the role quests that I still need to do, and that is the one for the caster DPS in the Crystarium, because the person that's involved with that quest was originally a black mage, so it'd only be proper to do it as a black mage, like it was proper to do with Lamise as a white mage. Of course, at the time I really had no choice because white mage was all I had. But yeah, I'll be back when I'm level 80 and I have completed that role quest, all those role quests. Alright, we're at level 80. We have completed the necessary role quests. So, Lalai, how's it going, lass? Welcome back to these halls, Cecil of the Black. I sense that the dark powers in you are ever burgeoning. Pray tell, where have your travels taken you since last we met? Oh, you wouldn't believe it. I traveled to a world flooded with light. I filled a great mage in battle. Let's go with this one. This one sounds better, more interesting. A journey to another world, you say? Intriguing indeed. Consider me impressed, and even a bit envious. How you were able to peer into the past of the Archmage Nilebur and form a bond across the ages with his young friend Tainor. Though the circumstances are not entirely the same, I cannot help but think back to my own encounter with the great Shitoto. Speaking of which, I too have been keeping myself occupied. I have recorded every detail we learned on our last adventure in writing, that we might preserve Shitoto's knowledge for posterity and avert any similar calamity that may threaten future generations. Just the other day, I put the finishing touches on the final chapter of the final volume, concluding with Shitoto's departure. There is, however, one lingering... Well, fancy that. I came to check up on the lie here, and who do I find but our old friend Cecila? Oh, hello. Well, if it isn't everyone's favorite mutton-headed here, I need neither your support nor your sympathy, but I suppose you've never been one to let that stop you. Come now, Lalai. You yourself mentioned that you were at a loss for what to do with the records you had scribed, yes? I simply hope to inquire as to whether there have been any fruitful developments on that front. So you mean to rub salt in my wounds, yes? There have been no developments, fruitful or otherwise. I consulted with my brothers and sisters of the Order of Nalthal, but to the last man, they refused to even entertain the thought. You consulted with... Didn't you say that you're still a member of the Order? Why, I had always assumed that you had been excommunicated for the pursuit of your dark arts. Excommunicated? Simply for the pursuit of knowledge? Perish the thought. Though to be fair, there have been many holier-than-thou types in the Order who share this pig-headed hero's opinion. Irrespective of this, the fact remains that the Order sealed away countless tomes in their vaults when they forbid the art of dark black magic. Storing my own writings with them, I would argue, is the most logical option. But no, they are too prudish and prejudiced against yours truly to listen to reason. Then again, perhaps if a thaumaturge in good standing with the Order were put in a good word on my behalf, you may indeed find a more sympathetic ear. What do you say, Cecila? God damn, I haven't been to the Thaumaturge's Guild in ages. Excellent. Let's hurry to the ossuary and see if we can't convince that insufferably stuffy Yayake to see good sense. Good lord. In a moment, if you please, Cecila. To tell the truth, the question of where to store her records is not only the matter that concerns me about Lie of late. Recently, I cannot help but feel that etheric power within her is shifting, warping in ways that I have not felt before. As for why this is, I cannot yet be sure. Until we discover more, pray look after her, will you? Well, that doesn't sound good. Alright. I'll do what I can. I can't make any promises, but I'll keep an eye out. God damn. Thaumaturge's Guild, huh? Shit, we haven't been there in ages. Good lord, I didn't think I'd ever go back. Cessla, well, this is an unexpected surprise, and not an entirely pleasant one, though it is by no fault of your own. The unmitigated gall of you lied. Did you honestly believe that dragging poor Cessla here, against her will, no doubt, would convince me to agree housing your shameful scribblings in our archives? I said it once, and I'll say it again. Until the day you renounce the depraved teachings of Kukuruka, you'll find no friends here. I would see those books burn before I give them a home here, for our sake and for your own. I swear, despite that pretentious monocle, you remain as blind as a bat to the big picture. Cecil the Black, talk some sense into this overstuffed secretary. Should the tomes not be sealed away for safekeeping? At least one of us here is capable of communicating like an adult. I'll grudgingly admit that there was one other who shares the lies sentiments. In fact, is none other than the very own guildmaster, Master Kokabe. What was his name again? Kokabuki! Ha, it doesn't surprise me in the least. Come, Cecil, let us present our case to someone who's wise enough to understand it. Goddamn. Been ages. How you going? How you doing, buddy? You guys look like you're about the same as ever. I was wondering who might be behind the screaming and stamping that echoed all the way into this chamber. Sister the Lie, was it? Yes, it is true. I find myself rather convinced by the young lady's argument. It is all but impossible for us to prevent any and all but from studying the dark arts. Why then not keep this dangerous knowledge close at hand, where we can keep an ever-watchful eye on those who would pursue it? And yet, I fear that my own view is not a popular one, and my power to influence others is far from absolute. And so I will offer a proposal. Let us state our case directly to the head of the order, to Prioress Dulala herself, that she may pass judgment. Who? You and the Lie shall argue in favor of accepting the tomes, and those opposing shall argue against. Should all go well, the Prioress will agree to the proposal, and the tomes will have a safe home. And yet, the plan is not without risk. Should your argument be less than convincing, there remains a chance Dulala may expressly forbid any further research. Why, if she isn't in any particularly foul mood, your very place in the order may suddenly become quite tenuous. Huh, as if there's any chance my words could be anything but persuasive. I accept. Pray summon the Prioress at her earliest convenience. Well, that settles it. We best hurry and prepare our argument. Out of our enemy's earshot, of course. Come with me, Cecila. Man. What's going on over here? Alright. Well, I don't know who this Dulala is, but I guess I'll find out in just a few minutes. This is our chance, Cecila. We must simply convince the Prioress at all costs. The future of our art depends on it. What is this curious sensation? The Lie. I knew something was amiss. The ether within you is transforming in a most unusual way. I must admit I have not felt quite myself lately. My head feels as heavy as stone. No, this will not do. I'm afraid I must insist that you submit a full examination before the hearing commences. Nope. So much of that. The Lie? The Lie? Can you hear me? Someone fetch a healer! Or wait, that's me! This is no time for panicking, friend. I must carry her to the pharmacy at all speed. Pal, you're the one who's panicking, not me. Fair as I suspected, the etheric balance in her is broken down entirely, and unchecked, energy is now eating away at her from within. I can only assume that paying host of Shitoda's memories was put a horrible strain on her, one from which she has yet to completely recover. Yes, it would seem that her mind and spirit are in mortal peril. I have never witnessed this degree of etheric imbalance before. I do not suppose you have... I saw a man transform into an holy abomination. I see. I can scarcely imagine all you've witnessed in your trials, but an imbalance of ether similar to what I now observe in the lie would appear to be behind the phenomena you describe. If we can assume that the memories of Shitoda have taken up residence in the lie's corporeal form, stimulated her etheric flow, causing it to shift violently in an astral direction, and it only stands to reason we could restore balance by introducing a counteracting umbral aspect. By the 12th, I think I've got it. And yet the process will not be quick, nor easy. I suppose we have no choice but to ask Master Kukabuki to delay the hearing. Delay the hearing? Have you lost what little wits you had? Why, if word got out about my condition was a result of my pursuit of the dark arts, it would all but seal Yayaki's case against me. Oh, she's changed her wardrobe. No, we must proceed as planned, before our opponents are the wiser. Sessa, here is the magnum opus, the fruits of all we went through together. I'll leave them in your capable hands. Go on ahead and I'll be along in the due time. Are you mad? You can't possibly attend the proceedings in your current condition. Of course not. Fortunately, I just so happen to know a hero who, despite being an insufferable stick in the mud, has proven himself more than capable in the healing arts. Lalai. Very well. Leave it to me. I'll see that you're back on your feet before their judgment is rendered. Until then, I suppose it's up to Cecil here. Godspeed, my friend. Great! Wonderful. Alright. Oh boy. This'll be interesting. The lie will be joining the proceedings is a touch late, you say? That is most unlike her, to say the least. She has entrusted her records to you. Very well, then in luck we'll be able to use them to our advantage. Now, allow me to see them. The priorities will be here all too soon. Oh, it's this lady. The lie has not even the courtesy to arrive on time to the hearing she herself requested. I swear the woman's selfishness knows no bounds. I move that her request be dismissed immediately. It is for her own good. For her own good? Yes, as I suspected. You speak from your own experience, don't you, child? I recall that you too once took an unpopular position in support of your erstwhile master Mumuepo, one that earned you only the error of your brothers and sisters. Yes, and what of it? I fought for a hopeless cause that in the end served only to isolate me from my peers. Is this the one that I wish to save the life from a similar fate? She must abandon this farce at once and return to her rightful place in the order. To this I cannot agree. In the short time before these proceedings, I perused what I could of these tomes, and their pages are writ not only forbidden secrets of black magic, but accounts of astounding phenomena the likes of which even I could scarcely imagine. The lie conducted her research without the support or interference of the order, and the fruits that research has borne cannot be denied. While our guild could not support 1,000 others like her, I see little to gain from stifling one woman's passion, forcing her to work within such rigid rules and regulations. The merits of both arguments are not lost on me, yet I must confess a degree of ignorance about the matter at hand. All know that black magic was forbidden for its role in bringing disaster to our world, and yet you still practice this art. Tell me, adventurer, is this magic as calamitous as the ill rumors say? It depends on who wields it and to what end. I mean, that's true. If I understand you correctly, you would argue that in the right hands, even the art of destruction might serve as a greater good. And yet, how are we to be certain that this sister of the light can be trusted with such potentially ruinous knowledge? My apologies, Priorius. By your leave, I would tell my tale. Black magic is an inherently dangerous art. This I cannot and will not deny. Never would I suggest that even a single mage pursue this path without full knowledge of the perils that lie ahead. That is precisely why I have recorded in painstaking detail not only the arcane knowledge I have gleaned, but every last one of the myriad phenomena, both wondrous and terrifying, I have experienced in its pursuit. Unbreakable bonds formed with beastmen we once thought our sworn enemies. Enemy bodies and souls consumed by the pursuit of forbidden knowledge, an unspeakable calamity revisited upon our world after millennia. We must leave this knowledge to posterity that our sons and daughters do not repeat the mistakes of our past. Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. This is the crux of your argument, yes? Man, it's kind of true, if you think about it in retrospect. Very well. Master Kukubuki, I hereby order you to establish a research organization under the auspices of your guild to further study the impact of black magic. I also grant you permission to store the aforementioned tomes in your archives, under the condition the Sister of the Lie oversees them. Understood. I'll see that both the tomes and the Lie herself find a safe home within our halls. I'm still not entirely convinced, but the guildmaster himself is willing to accept responsibility. I have no reason to oppose. Priors to lava, Master Kukubuki, I cannot thank you enough. Mark my words, you'll not regret this decision. I'll see to it that this knowledge is passed down as it should be, that the errors of our past will never be repeated. Alright. Sweet. Court is adjourned. I do believe the proceedings went about as well as could be expected. I suppose this means that the lie is now directly under my supervision. Don't think you'll be getting free reign around here simply because I vouch for you, child. I expect regular reports on any and all of your findings. Only through transparency will black magic ever be accepted by doubters and skeptics. Understood. I shall begin to prepare my first report at once. But before that, there's another with whom I'd like to share these tidings. That is, by your leave, Guildmaster? I believe you know full well of whom I speak. He awaits us at the Sacrarium. Come along, Cecilla. Alright. Let's go tell our buddy Zahai the good news! And so you see, I simply thought that, well, whatever is the matter, the lie, this is your moment of triumph. I would expect you to be more triumphant. Of course I am. And it's simply that, well, clearly I did not accomplish this on my own, so. Sons of the Black, and yes, you as well as Zahai, you have my deepest gratitude. Well, I dare say this has been a monumentous day in more ways than one. Once again, the lie, my congratulations. And you're most welcome. And with that, I should be on my way. When next we meet, I would introduce my colleagues from Stillglade Fane. Now that you're no longer a pariah, I suppose they would not averse to exchanging knowledge with you. And just when I was beginning to take a liking to that dolt. Huh. At any rate, though my official position may have changed, my mission remains the same. I'll do all my power to preserve our art for the future generations. Pray continue to lend me your aid, Cecil the Black. Sure! Alright. Well, that's been quite the journey. And that is the end of the level 50 through 80 quests as a Black Mage. So, I hope you enjoyed them, and I will see you in the next part. Later.